Hey, coin lovers! Have you ever checked your spare change and thought, what if one of these pennies is secretly worth a fortune? Well, guess what? It just might be. Today, we're diving into a shocker, the 2007 Lincoln penny, a coin that could turn your pocket change into a whopping $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A penny. 1 cent, something you probably walked past on the sidewalk yesterday. But this particular one? It's got collectors going absolutely wild. So grab your penny jar, because by the end of this video, you'll be flipping every single coin you own, and trust me, I've got a story for you about how I almost threw away what could have been a valuable coin. Still hurts to think about it, but before we jump into why this coin is so special and how you can spot one, make sure to subscribe for more coin hunting secrets that could make you some serious cash. Alright, let's get into it. The 2007 Lincoln penny. What's the big deal? Why is this little copper-colored coin worth more than a brand new sports car? The minting error that changed everything now. As you probably know, the D mint mark means this penny was struck at the Denver Mint. And while millions of pennies were made in 2007, not all were created equal. There's a rare error variation that has collectors emptying their wallets. Some of these 2007 D pennies were struck on the wrong metal planchet. Instead of using the standard copper-plated zinc composition, a few were mistakenly struck on solid copper blanks, making them extremely rare. And you know what that means: rare equals expensive in the coin world. First, check the weight. A regular 2007 penny weighs 2.5 grams, but a rare copper one? 3.11 grams. That tiny difference is the key to unlocking its insane value, and before you go throwing your pennies on a scale, let me tell you about the time I thought I found one. I was digging through a jar of coins at my grandma's house, because let's be real, old people always have the best change, and I spotted a 2007 D penny. My heart raced. I grabbed a scale, but 2.5 grams. Ugh. So close, yet so far. But hey, that's part of the thrill, right? Now, even if you find a rare 2007 D copper penny, its value depends on condition. Coins are graded from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70. And guess what? The most valuable 2007 D Lincoln penny, sold for $1.1 million, was in nearly perfect condition. So if your coin looks like it's been chewed up by a dog and run over by a truck, well, it might still be worth something, but probably not the big bucks. If you think you found one of these rare pennies, do not just sell it to the first person who offers you $10. You need to get it certified by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. This proves it's the real deal and protects you from getting scammed. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or platforms like eBay could be your ticket to serious cash. Just imagine, you sell one penny and boom, you're a millionaire. And even if you don't find a 2007 D worth $1.1 million, don't be discouraged. There are plenty of other pennies that could be worth hundreds or thousands, like the 1943 bronze penny, the 1969 S double-die penny, and the 1992 close AM penny. That's why it's so important to check every single coin before you spend it. You never know when a life-changing penny might be hiding in plain sight. Go grab your piggy bank, check your pocket change, and see if you've been walking around with a fortune in your wallet this whole time. And hey, if you find a rare one, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your coin hunting stories. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you'll never miss out on the next big coin discovery. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're digging through an old jar of pennies, maybe one that's been sitting in your grandpa's garage for decades. Dusty, forgotten, probably filled with nothing but common change. But then, you spot something interesting. A 1952 S Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Wrong. Because if you happen to have the right one, you might just be holding a coin worth $1.30 million. Yep, you heard that right. A single penny, the kind most people toss in a tip jar without a second thought, could be worth more than a mansion, a Ferrari, and a lifetime supply of tacos. But before you start dumping out your piggy bank, let's talk about what makes this particular penny so valuable, how to know if you have one, and what to do if you strike coin gold. Oh, and stick around, because I'll be sharing a story about the time I thought I found a rare penny, only to be hilariously disappointed. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. First, let's break it down. The S mint mark means it was minted in San Francisco in 1952. Now, normally, 1952 US pennies aren't super rare. In fact, the US Mint cranked out over 137 million of these bad boys. So why would one be worth $1.3 million today? It all comes down to errors, condition, and rarity of certain variations. The coin looks like it has a slight double image, especially on the date or lettering. The design isn't perfectly centered, making it look like a misprint. Weird raised bumps or cracks from a worn-out die at the mint. These errors make the coin more valuable because they're one of a kind. Think of them like factory defects on collectible sneakers. Sometimes, the flaws make them worth more, not less. Now, here's the real kicker. Most pennies from 1952 have been in circulation for decades, which means they're scratched, worn down, and basically not worth much more than a cent. But if you have one in near-perfect condition, what collectors call MS67 red or higher, that's where the big money is. Collectors pay top dollar for these flawless coins because they're incredibly rare. Think about it, how many pennies do you see that look fresh out of the mint, without a single scratch? Probably none. It must have an S under the date. Use a magnifying glass to inspect the coin for doubling, off-center strikes, or other oddities. If it looks shiny and new, take it to a professional coin grader like PCGS or NGC to get it officially rated. If it's in top shape, similar pennies have sold at auction for over $1 million. The penny that wasn't now. Let me tell you about the time I thought I had hit the jackpot. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his attic. He had a shoebox full of old coins, and I spotted a 1952 US penny in the pile. My heart nearly stopped. Was this my golden ticket? $1 million find? I immediately grabbed a magnifying glass, checked for errors, and held it up to the light like a professional treasure hunter. It looked decent. Maybe a little worn, but still pretty cool. I ran to my laptop, checked auction results, and started dreaming of my new life as a rich coin collector. Shattered. But hey, at least I learned a valuable lesson. Not all old coins are gold mines. If you have a 1952 US Lincoln penny, don't just assume it's pocket change. Take a closer look, check for errors, and if it's in pristine condition, you might just have a coin worth $1.30 million. And even if you don't strike it rich, coin collecting is an awesome hobby. You never know when a forgotten penny in your couch cushions could turn into serious cash. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding valuable coins, make sure to subscribe. I've got plenty more surprises coming your way, because trust me, there are tons of coins out there worth big money. Hey everyone! Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this thing is basically worthless? Well, hold on, because today we're talking about a 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth a staggering $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right, one single penny that could change your life. I probably have a handful of those in my couch cushions. And that's exactly why you should pay close attention, because this coin could be hiding in your loose change, just waiting for you to discover it. Stick around, because not only will I break down what makes this penny so valuable, but I'll also share a funny, and slightly embarrassing, story about the time I almost spent a valuable coin on a vending machine snack. Let's get into it. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. Most pennies are just, well, pennies. But the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is not your average coin. Here's why. Normally, pennies made in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but some rare ones from this year were struck on error planchets or had special die varieties, making them incredibly rare. Some of these 1994 pennies have doubled dies, off-center strikes, or even a smooth, mirror-like finish that resembles a proof coin. These errors make them highly sought after by collectors. Coins that are nearly flawless, graded MS67 or higher, can bring in astronomical prices at auctions. And now, if you're wondering, okay, but who's paying $1.4 million for a penny? It's serious coin collectors, auction houses, and even investment firms who understand just how rare these coins are. So, let's say you dump out your piggy bank and find a 1994 penny. Before you go quitting your job and planning your dream vacation, here's what to check. Flip the coin over and look under the date. If there's no D or S mark, you're in business. Use a magnifying glass to see if there's a doubled image on Lincoln's face or the lettering. A microscope can help spot these tiny details. If your penny looks super shiny, has no scratches, and appears brand new, you might just have a high-grade specimen. Okay, real quick, story time. A few years ago, I found an old penny in my car's cup holder. It looked a little shinier than usual, but I didn't think much of it. I was starving, and there was a vending machine calling my name. Without thinking, I grabbed a handful of coins, including that penny, and got myself a bag of chips. Fast forward a few weeks, and I learned about rare pennies. Out of curiosity, I checked my coin jar and realized that I might have spent a valuable penny on a $1 snack. Always check your spare change before you spend it on junk food. Let's say you find one of these rare pennies. What now? Here's how to turn that 1 cent into $1.4 million. Visit a local coin shop and have it evaluated. Websites like Heritage Auctions or eBay can attract serious collectors. Send your coin to PCGS or NGC to get it officially graded, which can increase its value. So, the next time you see a 1994 penny in your pocket, don't ignore it, it could be worth a life-changing amount of money. Check your change, search through old piggy banks, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the next lucky person to find $1 million penny. Before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more crazy stories and valuable coin tips. I'm always on the hunt for the next hidden treasure, and you don't want to miss it. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a weird or valuable coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential fortune. Now, tell me, have you ever tossed a penny aside, thinking, meh, just another 1 cent piece? Well, what if I told you that a simple 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth up to $1.5 million? Yeah, you heard that right, $1.5 million. Now, before you start digging through your couch cushions or breaking open that old piggy bank, let's dive into why this little copper coin is so insanely valuable. Trust me, by the end of this video, you're gonna be checking every penny you come across like a detective on a case. And hey, if you find one? Well, you might just be on your way to an early retirement. What makes this penny special? I mean, it looks just like any other penny, right? You've got Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile, "In God We Trust," above his head, liberty to the left, and the year 1991 stamped on it. But here's the kicker, it doesn't have a mint mark. Now, normally, pennies from this era were produced in different U.S. mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. If a penny was made in Denver, you'd see a little D under the year. If it was from San Francisco, there'd be an S. But some 1991 pennies were accidentally struck without a mint mark, making them extremely rare. And in the world of coin collecting, rare equals valuable. So, how does a tiny missing letter turn a 1 cent coin into a jackpot? Well, it all comes down to rarity and demand. The fewer there are, the more collectors are willing to pay. And when it comes to this particular penny, there are only a handful known to exist. One of these pennies, in nearly perfect condition, sold at an auction for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. That's more than some luxury cars, and definitely more than my first apartment. Collectors go crazy for rare coins like this, especially if they're in pristine condition. The shinier, the better. So, if you ever find one, don't spend it, get it graded immediately. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, how do I know if I've got one of these golden ticket pennies? Look for a 1991 penny with no mint mark. If you see a D or S, sorry, no millions for you this time. The better the condition, the higher the value. If your penny looks like it just came out of a fresh roll, you might be onto something big. Some fake error coins are floating around, so take a close look to make sure it's legit. If you think you've hit the jackpot, don't guess it. Take it to a professional coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to confirm its authenticity. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. You know, the usual dusty boxes, old clothes, and some random junk that made me question how much stuff we actually keep for sentimental reasons. Well, while going through an old coin jar, I found a 1991 penny that looked a little off. No mint mark. My heart started racing. Could this be the one? I grabbed my phone, did some quick research, and for a solid 10 minutes, I thought I had just found my ticket to early retirement. It turned out to be a regular penny. But the experience opened my eyes to the world of coin collecting, and I've been obsessed ever since. And who knows? Maybe one day, I'll actually find that $1 million penny. Before we wrap things up, here are a few other valuable pennies you should keep an eye out for. Alright, folks, that's a wrap on today's episode of Coins That Could Change Your Life. If you've got a jar of pennies sitting at home, you might want to start checking them ASAP. Who knows? You might just have a $1.5 million treasure hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe for more tips on spotting rare coins and making money from collectibles. And if you've ever found a rare coin, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories. Alright, imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions, looking for some spare change to grab a coffee. You pull out a random penny, think nothing of it, and toss it in your pocket. But wait, what if I told you that penny might be worth $1.60 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A simple 2000 no-mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a life-changing fortune. Sounds like a joke, but trust me, it's very real. And today, we're diving deep into why this little copper coin is commanding such an insane price, how you can spot one, and what makes it so special. By the end of this video, you'll be rushing to check your coin jar, your car's cup holders, and maybe even that old piggy bank from when you were a kid. So stick around, because this is one discovery you don't want to miss. Okay, let's start with a little backstory. The Lincoln penny has been around for over a century, and while most are worth just 1 cent, some rare errors or unique features can make them extremely valuable. Now, the 2000 Lincoln penny was part of the usual production, but here's the kicker: some of them were struck without a mint mark, and a handful had rare errors or high-quality strikes that turned them into collector's gold. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark, so what's the big deal? Well, it's not just about missing letters, it's about specific die varieties, striking errors, and ultra-high grades that collectors are going absolutely wild for. So, what makes this coin worth more than a luxury car or even a house? It boils down to 3 main things. Some 2000 Lincoln pennies were struck with misalignments, double dies, or planchet errors. If you've got one of these, jackpot. Certain pennies have an extreme doubling effect on Lincoln's face or the lettering. The more dramatic, the higher the value. High-grade condition: if your penny looks like it just rolled out of the mint, sharp details, no scratches, and a shiny finish. Grading services like PCGS or NGC could rate it as MS69 or even MS70. That's near perfect. The better the condition, the higher the price collectors are willing to pay. Collector demand in auctions: coin collectors are always on the hunt for rare finds, and when a unique penny like this hits the auction block, the bidding wars can get intense. Someone actually dropped that kind of cash on a penny. Imagine explaining that to your bank. How to check if you have one? Alright, so how do you find out if you're sitting on a small fortune? Here's what to do: you'll need a good close-up look to spot doubling effects or any unusual features. Look at Lincoln's face, the words "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date. Any odd-looking letters or images? That could be a double die. Some error pennies were struck on different metal compositions. A normal Lincoln penny should weigh 2.5 grams, but if yours is off, it could be something special. If you think you have a rare one, send it to PCGS or NGC for authentication. A professional grade can mean the difference between a couple of bucks and $1 million payout. My own penny surprise. Now, I gotta tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, paying for my snacks, when I got a weird-looking penny in my change. It looked shinier than the others, so I threw it in my pocket and forgot about it. Fast forward a few weeks, I was researching rare coins, like I always do, and I decided to check it out. Turns out, it was a 1995 double-die Lincoln penny. Nothing too crazy, but still worth around $50. Not life-changing, but hey, that's a free dinner, right? Since then, I always check my change. And let me tell you, the moment you realize a regular coin could be worth thousands, you'll never look at pocket change the same way again. That little copper coin could be a secret goldmine. Look for errors and high grades. Double dies, planchet mistakes, or ultra-clean conditions can make a huge difference in value. Get expert verification. If you think you've got a rare one, don't just throw it in a drawer, get it graded and see what it's worth. Now, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, it really helps the channel grow. And if you want more tips on valuable coins, crazy rare finds, and how to turn spare change into serious cash, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. And one more thing, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. I'd love to hear your stories. Hey there, fellow coin hunters. Ever found a penny on the ground and thought, it's just a penny? Well, what if I told you that little copper coin could actually be worth a whopping $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into the surprising value of the 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, why it's worth so much, what makes it special, and how you can find one in your pocket change. And hey, stick around because I'll even share a personal story about how a random penny nearly changed my life. Spoiler alert, it didn't, but it could have. So, if you love money, which, let's be real, who doesn't, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin tips that could make you rich. Let's jump in. Alright, first things first, what's the deal with this 1995 penny? Why is it worth a ridiculous amount of money? Most pennies minted in 1995 have a little letter underneath the date, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But if you come across one without a mint mark, bingo! You might have hit the jackpot. This rare penny was actually minted in Philadelphia, which typically doesn't put a mint mark on their coins. However, not all 1995 Philadelphia pennies are valuable. What makes some of them worth a fortune is a famous error, the double die obverse. Imagine someone at the mint had one job, to make sure Lincoln's face was printed just right. But nope, instead, they accidentally stamped it twice, slightly off from the first impression. This causes a noticeable doubling, especially in the words liberty and in God we trust at the top of the coin. Not if you spot that doubling, congratulations. That tiny mistake could turn your penny into a literal fortune. Here's where things get wild. Only a handful of these error pennies have been found in top condition. And since most people don't pay attention to their pennies, there could be more out there, just waiting to be discovered. One of these 1995 no mint mark double die pennies sold for $1.7 million at auction. Imagine walking into a store, handing over a penny for some gum, and the cashier unknowingly just took $1 million coin. Yikes. Okay, now that you know what makes this coin so valuable, how do you find one? Here's what to do. Look closely at liberty and in God we trust. Do the letters appear doubled? Use a magnifying glass or a phone camera zoom to inspect details. If you spot doubling, do not spend that penny. Instead, get it professionally graded. A mint state, MS 67 plus version of this coin could fetch the highest prices at auctions. Even lower grade versions still go for thousands. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years back, I was digging through an old jar of change at my grandma's house. She always told me, you never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. So, I started checking each penny, thinking maybe, just maybe, I'd find something special. I found a 1995 penny with no mint mark. My heart nearly stopped. I grabbed a magnifying glass, looked at the lettering, and nothing. No double die. Just a regular OL penny. I won't lie, I was crushed. My dreams of early retirement, buying a yacht, and living my best life were gone in an instant. But hey, it made me realize if I could almost find one, then so can you. That's why I always tell people, check your change. You never know when your next grocery store trip could turn into $1 million payday. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, now you know, the 1995 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a life-changing $1.7 million. So next time you get a penny, don't just toss it aside. Give it a second look, and hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I've got more videos coming up about rare coins hiding in your pockets right now. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential fortunes. Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever found a penny on the ground and just walked right past it? Or maybe, if you were feeling generous, you picked it up and threw it into a coin jar without a second thought? Well, what if I told you that one tiny, unassuming 1984 D Lincoln penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.80 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A penny. 1 cent, something most people don't even bend down to pick up. And today, we're diving deep into why this specific penny is so valuable, how you can spot one, and what to do if you actually find one hiding in your collection. So, grab your coin jars, check your couch cushions, and let's talk money. But before we get started, a quick little story. A friend of mine, let's call him Dave, was always teasing me about my obsession with coins. He thought it was ridiculous that I spent time looking at pennies under a magnifying glass. Fast forward to last year, Dave calls me in a panic. He was cleaning out an old drawer and found a handful of pennies from the 80s. Guess what? One of them was a rare variety. Not $1 million one, but still worth a solid chunk of change. Suddenly, I wasn't the crazy one anymore. So, take it from Dave, never underestimate a penny. So, how does a penny go from being worth 1 cent to being worth $1.8 million? The answer, errors and rarity. The 1984 D penny is valuable because of a rare and unique mistake made at the Denver Mint. Back in the 80s, the US Mint was cranking out billions of pennies, and with that kind of mass production, mistakes were bound to happen. Some of these errors resulted in pennies that collectors are willing to pay insane amounts of money for. One of the most famous errors on the 1984 D penny is the double die obverse, DDO. This means that during the minting process, the coin's design was accidentally stamped twice, causing some of the lettering or even Lincoln's features to appear doubled. If you look closely, you might see extra thickness or shadows around the letters "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Now, not every 1984D penny has this error. That's what makes them so rare. If you happen to find one, you've basically struck gold, well, copper, but you get the point, alright? So let's say you have some old pennies lying around. How do you check if one of them is the golden ticket? First, grab a magnifying glass. No, seriously. Your naked eye might not catch the tiny details that make these pennies valuable. Look at some of these rare pennies show a doubled earlobe. Yes, his ear. If Lincoln looks like he has an extra earlobe, you might have something special. If you notice any of these signs, congratulations. You might be holding onto a small fortune. So, you think you found a rare 1984D penny. Now what? Do you just post it on eBay for $1.8 million and wait for the money to roll in? Not quite. Do not clean the coin. I know it's tempting to polish it up and make it look pretty, but cleaning a rare coin can actually lower its value. Collectors want original, untouched coins. You'll want to send your penny to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll inspect it and give it an official grade, which determines its market value. Find the right buyer. Once it's graded, you can sell it at an auction, through a coin dealer, or to a serious collector. Auctions like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbauers specialize in high-value coins. Not every 1984D penny is going to be worth millions. But even if yours isn't the rarest of the rare, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Not bad for a penny, right? Other pennies that could be worth big money. If you're loving this treasure hunt, here are a few other pennies to keep an eye out for. Most 1943 pennies were made of steel, but a few were accidentally struck in copper. These can sell for over $1 million. Another famous error coin with obvious doubling on the date and letters. Similar to the 1984D, but from an earlier year. These can fetch thousands of dollars. So, even if you don't find a 1984D penny, there are plenty of other valuable pennies to watch for. Alright, folks, that wraps up today's deep dive into the 1984D Lincoln penny worth $1.8 million. Hopefully, you're now eyeing every penny you come across like a detective on a mission. Remember, treasures aren't always in treasure chests. Sometimes they're in your pocket change. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the next big money-making coin find. I'll be dropping more tips, strategies, and rare coin stories, so stay tuned. And before you go, check your pockets. Who knows? You might be sitting on a fortune. Hey, what's up, coin hunters? Imagine this: you're digging through your loose change, looking for a vending machine snack, and bam! You find a penny, just an ordinary penny. Or so you think. But guess what? That little copper coin in your hand could be worth a life-changing $1.1 million. Yep, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin so rare and valuable, you could trade it in for a brand new luxury car, a dream vacation, or, I don't know, maybe just buy 110 million more pennies. So, how does a single penny become worth over $1 million? Why is the 1988 version so special? And most importantly, could you be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Stick around, because I'm about to break it all down for you in the most entertaining, info-packed way possible. And hey, before we dive in, hit that subscribe button because I drop videos like this all the time, showing you how to turn pocket change into serious cash. Alright, let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about what a no-mint Mark penny actually is. Usually, Lincoln pennies are minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, and they have a little letter stamped under the date: P for Philly, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. But the 1988 no-mint Mark penny? No letter. Just a clean, plain date. Now, this might seem like a small mistake, but in the world of coin collecting, small mistakes can mean big money. Some of these no-mint Mark pennies were accidentally struck with a rare reverse design intended for the 1989 pennies, which means they have a mix of features from both years. This type of mix-up is called a transitional error, and collectors love these because they're not supposed to exist. So why is this little error penny worth $1.1 million? It all comes down to rarity and demand. Think about it: if you're the only person who owns something rare, collectors will throw huge money at you just to get their hands on it. Only a few of these 1988 pennies with the rare reverse exist. They weren't supposed to be made this way, so finding one in circulation is like winning the lottery. If you happen to find one, let me tell you, you're not buying snacks with it. You're cashing in big time. Alright, let me tell you a quick personal story. A while back, I was sorting through some old coins, looking for anything valuable. I had a whole stack of pennies, and honestly, I was getting kinda bored. My brain went on autopilot. You know how it is. So, I'm just tossing pennies into a jar, and suddenly, my buddy, who, by the way, knows nothing about coins, picks one up and says, "Hey, why doesn't this one have a letter under the date?" I barely glanced at it and was like, "Oh, that's just a Philadelphia penny." But something in my gut told me to take a second look. Turns out, it was a 1988 no mint mark penny with the rare reverse. If I hadn't caught it, I might have just dumped it at the gas station for a pack of gum. Imagine losing out on $1 million over some minty fresh breath. Lesson learned: always double check your coins. Alright, now for the part you've been waiting for: how to check if you have this rare 1988 penny. If it says 1988 and there's no mint mark, congratulations! You've passed the first test. You're looking at the Lincoln Memorial on the back, right? Now, here's the tricky part: you need to check the FG initials, those tiny letters near the base of the memorial. A rare error one has the 1989 style FG. It looks slightly different, sharper, and closer to the memorial. If you spot that 1989 reverse design, stop everything, you've got a jackpot penny in your hands. Step 3, get it professionally graded. Don't try to sell it to just anyone, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. If they confirm it's legit, you could be looking at $1 million payday. The 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny with a rare reverse error is worth up to $1.1 million. Only a few exist, making it incredibly rare. And now, the $1 million question: could you be holding one of these rare pennies right now without even knowing it? Go check your change jar, wallet, couch cushions, and that random cup holder in your car where pennies always end up. You never know. If you love learning about valuable coins and how to turn pocket change into big money, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Or do you have an old penny stash you're about to go through right now? Let's talk in the comments. Hey, coin collectors and curious minds. Have you ever casually checked your spare change and thought, man, I wish one of these pennies could be worth a fortune? Well, guess what? It can. And today, I'm about to tell you how a seemingly ordinary 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1.6 million. And now, before you start flipping over every penny in your pocket, make sure you stick around because I'll break down exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to identify one, and why it's fetching such an insane price. Plus, I'll share a hilarious, and slightly embarrassing, personal story about how I almost threw away a coin worth a small fortune. Alright, let's talk about the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny, also known as the penny that could change your life. In 2009, the U.S. Mint celebrated Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday with 4 different penny designs, each representing a different stage of his life. We had, showing Lincoln's humble beginnings, depicting his early years as a hard-working young man, symbolizing his political career, representing his time as the 16th president. Now, while all these coins are cool, one specific version of this penny has collectors going absolutely wild. And that's the one we're talking about today. Alright, so here's the deal. There are 3 major factors that make this penny incredibly valuable. The most valuable versions of the 2009 Lincoln penny come from the Denver D. Mint, but there are also some rare Philadelphia P. and San Francisco S. mint errors. Some were struck on the wrong planchet, meaning they used the wrong type of metal, and others had crazy doubling errors. Some of these coins were accidentally struck in pure copper instead of the standard zinc composition. These rare mistakes make them super desirable to collectors. If your coin is in mint state, MS68 or higher, it's worth way more than just pocket change. One of these rare, high-grade, error-filled pennies recently sold for $1.6 million at auction. That's more than some houses, and definitely more than my car, which, by the way, still makes weird noises when I turn left. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, but do I have one? Great question. Here's how to check. Look for a D, P, or S mint mark under the date. Inspect the coin under a magnifying glass. If you see doubling on Lincoln's face or the letters, it could be a rare double-die penny. Check the color. If it looks more coppery than normal, it might be one of the off-metal errors. Consider getting it graded by PCGS or NGC if you think it's in top condition. Alright, now let me tell you a quick story about how I almost threw away a valuable penny. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and I got some change back from a $5 bill. I looked at the pennies, saw one that looked a little shinier than usual, but didn't think much of it. I almost tossed it into the leave a penny, take a penny tray. Almost, but something told me to keep it. So I took it home, looked it up, and turns out it wasn't just any penny. It was a rare error coin from 1999 worth over $100. Now, it wasn't life-changing money, but it was definitely better than letting it sit in a dusty coin tray. The 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny is more than just a cool design, it could be worth $1.60 million. You should definitely start checking your pennies because you never know what treasure might be sitting right in your pocket. And now, I've got a challenge for you. Go grab your spare change, check your 2009 pennies, and tell me in the comments if you find anything cool. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on rare coins that could make you rich, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and remember, your next $1 million coin might be hiding in your couch cushions. See you in the next one.